what you're going to learn from this course is pretty unique. You know, most speakers, whether you're a beginner, a newbie, or a professional speaker, they all suffer from three main challenges. You see, and the first challenge is usually how to have great presentation skills, because it doesn't matter how good your content is, or your talk, or your seminar is, if you're not able to deliver that with confidence, with some conviction and some certainty or some authority, then it's just going to fall flat on its face. People aren't going to listen to you if your message is not really meaningful, if you know what I mean. So having great presentation skills is absolutely critical. Then the next challenge that most newbies, professional speakers have is how to structure their talk. A lot of the time people don't know what to say, they don't know how to say it, they forget in their head, oh my God, what am I going to write, and how am I going to write it? How am I going to present it? Do I have too much? Do I have too little? So they have all these challenges with structuring their talk. Well, for me, I just like to give an analogy of a mug. So if you have a mug, that mug is what I call the framework. And then inside the mug is what you put inside, and that's called your content. So it doesn't matter. Once you have the framework, once I show you how to structure your talk, it doesn't matter what your area of expertise is. You can put anything in that mug. You can put in peanuts, mixed nuts, yogurt, tea, coffee, Coca-Cola, whatever it is. So whatever area of expertise that you have, whether you are a genius in property, whether you are network marketing business, or whether you are a public speaker or a trainer or a coach, it doesn't matter what your area of expertise is, you can put it into that content. And we usually say to people, come up with like 3 to 7 points that define you around that. And if you can do that, that will really make it fabulous. Now, the next challenge that people have is how do they engage their audience? You know, I have seen many professional speakers stand up, have great content and can deliver, can talk with confidence, but their message just falls flat because the audience is not even engaged, they're not even involved in it, you know. And the way I counteract these three main challenges is I teach my students 6 core competencies at the Speaking and Presenting with Impact intensive training, which is a 2-day course. So these 6 core competencies are actually what I call modules within themselves. So the very first one is, how do we have great presentation skills? Well, I teach what I call impact. And impact is the acronym. And impact is the 6 core skills that people need to really understand to really make a difference. Once they understand it, it really kind of opens their eyes up to say, wow. And with impact, you've got being interesting, being you. You've got movement, moving with purpose. You've got presence. Presence is all about your stance and your state. How do you control that? And also your energy. And then we've got awareness, which is around noticing certain cues within your audience. I mean, I often say if your audience fart, you need to know about it. If they shift a little bit, you need to know about it. If they're down, you need to know. If they sneeze, you need to know about it. And if you can be aware of your audience from moment to moment as a speaker, you can change their mood from moment to moment as well. Very, very important. And also with that is you have to be able to connect your audience. You know, really connect with them, because the number one human need is significance. You've got to make your audience feel special. And if you can do that, wow, you're well on your way. And your audience will just be drawn to you, and they'll just be sitting on the edge on your every word and just wanting to, you know, take it on board and just saying, wow, this is really good stuff. And then your tonality, you've got to be able to vary your tone. You know, sometimes it might require you to call them to action and really be punchy and fast and loud. And sometimes you just need to really make an impact and really be softly spoken and really get your message across. That really makes it well, because it's all about your tonal inflection. How can you vary your voice so that it's more interesting, it's more up and down, rather than just flatlining, really boring your audience to death. So that's what we teach there, to get over how to have great presentation skills. Now, with structuring your talk, I teach 3 core elements. The very first one is knowing your audience. And this is all about what we call the format formula, but this is an NLP technique which was born from a lady by the name of Bernice McCarthy. And she studied people, and we're all very different. We like to be motivated very differently. We like to take information in very, very differently. So we have the why people, we have the what people, we have the how people, and the what if people. And all of these elements of people are going to be in your audience. So the very first thing you need to know is understand it and be able to put it together within your talk, because this will really make a difference while you're structuring your talk. And then finally, I also teach them what I call my DKNY model. And my DKNY model, it's very, very important right at the beginning of your audience. You got to position 4 things right at the beginning of your talk. And if you understand what these 4 things are, it will really make a difference and give your audience a reason to listen to you. And that's very important as well. And then finally, we come up with your own unique identity framework, because it's all about you being you and being your authentic self. What defines you? Who are you about? What's your branding about? And we come up with either an alliteration or an acronym or a visual model for you. Very, very important that you understand that. Now, to counteract engaging your audience, what we actually do there is pretty simple. We teach you the art of storytelling, and I teach what I call the 3 C's and the 3 R's, which is how movies are made. Once you understand this, you can engage any audience from anywhere. And then finally, we teach the SHARK model. Now, the SHARK model will enable you to be able to develop your 3 to 7 points and create a content around it that will really make it meaningful for your audience. Once you understand the SHARK model, it's not just about speaking. You can actually create your own webinars, you can write your own book, you can create your own video product, you can write your own audio product. It's a whole thing packaged into one. And that is what we teach at the 2 days Speaking and Presenting with Impact intensive training. It's pretty full on for 2 days. Great content, great value, and it will really make you from a go-kart speaker to a Formula One speaker. And that's really the key. That's my point. When you get out there, people will see that you are no ordinary speaker. You've got skills, you've got confidence, you have authority, and most importantly, you are speaking with impact.